I'm your host, Whiskey Mike.
And I'm Keeper.
And this is MPN. Tonight, we will examine a world caught between the spectacle of the individual and the rigid machinery of the state. We begin in Commerce City, Colorado, where a high-stakes circus act at a busy intersection has forced law enforcement to choose between applauding talent and enforcing the law. We bring you to the latest on a harrowing lawsuit alleging near-fatal medical neglect of a toddler in an ICE detention center. Also, in the nation's capital, a rhetorical firestorm is consuming the White House following a controversial social media post. While a few blocks away, the paper of record faces its own existential crisis as the publisher of the Washington Post abruptly departs amidst newsroom turmoil. We will also look at a lethal public health alert in California and the widening gap between the president's inflation victory and the reality of the American grocery bill. From the toxic to the transformative, these are the stories shaping your world tonight. This is MPN.
A routine traffic stop in Commerce City, Colorado, turned into a digital spectacle this week after police drones captured footage of a man performing a high-stakes circus act in the middle of a busy intersection. The unidentified performer, sporting a distinctive red hat and colorful jacket, was filmed expertly balancing on a unicycle while juggling 3 flaming torches at the cross of US 85 and East 60th Avenue. The footage shows a level of technical proficiency rarely seen on a public road. At one point, the man is seen lifting a leg to balance on a single pedal, all while maintaining a consistent juggling rhythm with the live fire. The Commerce City Police Department, while acknowledging the man's specialized skills, was quick to ground the performance in legal reality. In a social media post that has since gained significant traction, the department stated, "Our drone caught his act, which was both quite good and quite illegal." The quite illegal portion of the statement refers to a litany of violations, including trespassing and impeding traffic. Authorities reported that the performer failed to vacate the crossing in time, forcing motorists to wait as he finished his routine. While the intersection is a frequent site for enforcement regarding illegal solicitation and roadway interference, police admitted this was a first for the department. Let's all take a moment to appreciate this man's talents. Then all agree that we aren't going to do stuff like this.
A harrowing legal challenge has been filed against the U.S. immigration authorities following allegations that a toddler nearly died while in federal custody. The child, identified in court documents as Amalia, was detained alongside her parents, asylum seekers from Venezuela, at the South Texas Family Residential Center in Daly, Texas. The lawsuit claims that while in detention, Amalia developed a life-threatening illness, including pneumonia and COVID-19, yet was repeatedly denied the necessary medical intervention. The legal filing, led by Alora Mukherjee of Columbia Law School, asserts that even after a 10-day hospitalization where the child required supplemental oxygen, essential medications and medical equipment were seized upon her return to the Daly facility. Mukherjee stated bluntly, "Baby Amalia should never have been detained. She nearly died at Daly." While the family was released this past Friday following an emergency challenge, the case has reignited a fierce national debate over the medical standards within family residential centers.
The White House is facing a wave of bipartisan condemnation after a video depicting former President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama as apes was briefly shared on President Trump's Truth Social account. This 2-second clip, which appeared toward the end of a video detailing election fraud claims, was removed approximately 12 hours after its initial posting. While White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt initially dismissed the backlash as fake outrage, the administration later pivoted, claiming a staff member erroneously shared the content. Despite the removal, the president has refused to issue a formal apology to the Obamas, telling reporters aboard Air Force One, "No, I didn't make a mistake." While he noted that he condemned the racist portions of the clip, he maintained he had only viewed the beginning of the video before it was posted. Democratic leaders, including Chuck Schumer, have labeled the imagery vile and abhorrent, calling for a denunciation from Republican leadership.
Health officials in California have issued an urgent warning after 4 people died and 3 others required liver transplants following the ingestion of Amalia phalloides, commonly known as the death cap mushroom. The toxic fungi have flourished across Northern California and the Central Coast following an unusually rainy winter. State health departments report at least 36 cases of poisoning since mid-November, a figure that drastically exceeds the historical average of fewer than 5 cases per year. The victims range in age from 19 to 67 years old, highlighting the extreme danger these mushrooms pose due to their similarity to edible varieties. Dr. Craig Smallin of California Poison Control System noted that while the mushrooms typically flourish this time of year, the current scale of growth is unprecedented. Officials are urging citizens to avoid all wild foraging as the symptoms of death cap poisoning, including acute liver failure, can often appear to subside before returning with fatal severity.
Will Lewis, the embattled publisher and CEO of the Washington Post, announced his immediate resignation this weekend, just days after overseeing a restructuring that eliminated 1/3 of the paper's newsroom. The departure follows the layoff of approximately 300 employees, a move that effectively shuttered the paper's sports desk and gutted local reporting staff. Lewis, who was hired by owner Jeff Bezos in late 2023 to stem losses hitting $100 million, had faced mounting internal criticism over his leadership style and perceived absence during the restructuring process. The Post CFO, Jeff Donfurio, has been named acting publisher as the institution grapples with shaken newsroom confidence and significant operational shifts. While Lewis stated his departure was intended to ensure a sustainable future for the paper, the timing of the announcement, coming on the heels of the deepest cuts in this publication's history, has been described by union leaders as the attempted destruction of a great American journalism institution.
President Trump has intensified his economic rhetoric, claiming victory over inflation nearly 20 times in recent speeches across the country. The administration is framing the current economic climate as a definitive win, even as a Reuters review of these addresses reveals a notable lack of acknowledgement regarding the continued financial strain reported by American households. While the president proclaimed that inflation is defeated, current data shows food costs remaining nearly 3% higher year over year, while wage growth struggles to keep pace. Republican strategists have voiced concerns that this victory narrative may create a credibility gap with voters ahead of the upcoming midterm elections. As the president continues to prioritize these claims in regional media markets, the disconnect between the White House's mission accomplished message and the reality at the grocery store checkout is becoming a central theme for the opposition's economic counter messaging.
Tonight's reports remind us that whether it is a unicyclist balancing on a single pedal or a newsroom balancing its legacy against its bottom line, the act of staying upright is becoming increasingly difficult. As we look ahead, the questions raised tonight, from the medical standards of our detention centers to the credibility of our economic messaging. This will not likely be resolved overnight. We will continue to follow the conditions of those affected by the death cap outbreak in California and also monitor the leadership transition at the Washington Post as the media landscape continues its volatile shift. As always, the gap between the rhetoric we hear and the reality we live remains the space where the true story is found. For all of us here at the NPN Newsroom, thank you for your time and your trust. I'm Keeper.
And I'm Whiskey Mike.
Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you back here for our next news segment. Good night.
I didn't like that.
Nope, didn't like it at all. Nope.
Good job.
Woohoo!
Meow. Meow.
Meow.
Meow. the ingestion of Amalia filiades.
Probably should have put that one there. I didn't even think about that.
Amanita phalloids.
Oh, that hit the back of my throat real hard. Whilst the president claimed
We added words and sounds.
year over year, while
My name is Mike. I read stuff on a prompter.
year over year, while wage.
Good, because my nose itch. I'm glad you messed up on that one. My nose itch.
Why am I struggling? It's with wage. With wage is throwing me off. It's because we did a WW together, I guess. Because I could say WWE just fine, but with wage is throwing me off.
With wage entertainment.
WWE
With
tonight,
wage entertainment.
live at 9.
Woods is hard.
I got this. I got this. Scroll it back up, baby. Scroll it back up. We doing this. We doing this. I'm gonna power through.
Take 3.
As the president.
President.
As the
It's president. What's the hard word?
As Prez Trump gets into that White House and votes with his power, saying we done won the thing.
We's the best.
We done did vote President Trump to be a gift to America.